We're going to use one of these reasonings from the other day to describe what we're doing. Jordan, put the camera away. Put the camera away. Okay. So, all we're doing is solving algebra problems and writing down the property that we used. So, we're going to start with the warm-up. Technically, we're not going to do a proof, but I'm going to get you used to it. So, if I wanted to solve this warm-up problem for x, what would my first step on the left-hand side be? Distribute. So I'm going to bring that 5 in and the negative 2 in. If I bring the 5 in, what's 5 times 2x?
10x.
10x. What is 5 times negative 1?
Negative 5x, or negative 5.
Negative 5. Okay. When I distribute this 2 in, the negative's coming with it. So negative 2 times x. Negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 3? 6. There we go. I'm going to leave the right side the same for now. This part you could have done in Algebra 1. The new part is we're not done after we do the step. We have to describe what we did. So, Greta, what word did you use when you told me what to do? Distribute. So what property should I write down? Distributive property. And we do POE, property of equality. If you put property, that's fine as well. Doesn't matter. Can you see?
How do you know that's POE?
Equality, there's an equal sign. And there is no distributive POC. That's not a thing.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Next step. Let's handle each side. What should I do with my x's on the left? Combine like terms. I love how Charlie said that. That is the exact way I want you to write this step. If you are combining x's on one side of your equal sign, you are combining like terms. So, 10x minus 2x on the left is what? 8x. Negative 5 plus 6 plus 1. On the right-hand side, 2x plus 2x. 4x. 7 minus 2.
I see it now.
5. Okay. So anytime you are combining things on one side of the equal sign, we call that combining like terms. Now what? Subtract 4x from both sides. What's 8x minus 4x? 4x. So you get 4x plus 1 is equal to 5. And Cece used the word subtract. What property should I put on the right-hand side? Subtraction. POE. If I moved the x's to the left, let's move this 1 to the right. What should I do with that 1? How do I move it over? How do I get rid of it? Subtract again. So this is really times 2. Subtraction POE. We get 4x is equal to 4. My very last step, what should I do? Divide. So what property am I using if I'm dividing? The division property. Perfect. So division, POE. This is all we're doing today. I didn't even teach you just now, and you just told me exactly what to do. That's all we're doing. We're solving an algebra problem, and next to it, we're putting every property we use. Okay? Huh? Why?
Yeah, why?
I don't know. Shouldn't
But
have
do we have to
been.
solve the problem?
Huh?
We have to solve the problem too, correct?
Yes. Like the algebra problem? Yes. We're going to talk about it. Can you wait until after the lesson's done?
Yeah.
Okay. So, here's what we're going to do. Anytime you're asked to prove something or write a proof or solve this and explain your reasoning, here's what I want you to do. First step is to set up your chart, your proof format. So you make a T-chart. On the top, you label your columns as statements. That's going to be all of your algebra stuff on the left. Statements are going to be what you know. You know the algebra. On the right is going to be your reasons, why you know it. That's all your POEs. So here's our statements of algebra. Here's our reasons, okay? Anytime you write a proof, you are guaranteed 1 free point if you do the following. The first line of any proof should say given, okay? You put given on the right, and on the left you fill in whatever the problem's asking. So on this one, we would have put this entire equation on the left. If you put that line on any proof, you are guaranteed a free point. Charlie, knock it off. So, first line of any proof is given. It is a free point if you put it on there. If you don't put it on there, you just lost one of the easiest points you will ever learn and ever have in this class. And then from there, once you set up your proof, you run through the algebra. Jordan, close your Chromebook. You run through the algebra, and you describe each step.
She doesn't need a cosigner, by the way.
And that's it. So let's do some examples. Some of these are like filled out halfway, and we're going to fill in the blanks, and then eventually we're going to do them all by ourselves. So, first step of any proof, if you were handwriting this, you would draw your T-chart, and you would immediately put these two things down. And that would earn you 1 point on your test. Isaac, close your Chromebook for me, please.
It's the notes from yesterday.
Okay, that's fine. So, first line, given. Line 2, we solve. My recommendation would be to do the algebra part first and then describe what you're doing, like we did up here. We solved, and then we went over to the right-hand side. So, if I wanted to solve this for x, what would my first step be? What should I do? Go ahead. Add 2 to both sides. Plus 2 plus 2. And I would get 3x is equal to 12. For proofs, you don't have to show this little plus 2 in here, but if you do, that's fine. I won't count off or anything. So you can show your work if you would like. And Reagan said we added 2 to both sides, so what property did I use?
Addition POE.
Addition POE.
And then I know the next one.
All right, Jordan, to get from 3x equals 12 to x
Yeah,
equals
divide
4,
by 3,
we divided by 3.
which would equal x equals 4, which then would be division POE.
And since we divided by the same number on both sides, division POE. And that's it. You start with given, you end with whatever you're trying to prove. So we knew right off the bat that our very last line should say x equals 4. And if it doesn't, we did something wrong. So these are your first and last lines, always, okay? Sometimes it'll just give you the equation, and it'll have you just fill out the proof without saying the words given and prove. So step 1, you put in your first reasoning. What's our first reasoning always? Given. Given. The easiest point you will ever earn in this class, I promise you. Put given down. Huh? You have to write given, and you have to copy down the problem that it gives you. That's it. Copy down the problem, write given. Then we solve. This one, it already has the algebra part filled out for us. So let's try to figure out what they're doing. They took the 3x plus 12, and they got rid of the 3x and combined it with the 8x. So Reagan, what did they do to that 3x? They subtracted it. So they used the subtraction property. On your cheat sheet, there is already like a little box of all of these things listed. It's the possible reasons that you could put in a proof. These are all of your options for things on the right-hand side, and that's already printed on your cheat sheet for you. Don't throw it from there. Too far. Too far. What?
But there's more, like.
There is more properties, yes. Typically, in an algebraic proof, they don't show up. So you'll have to know the properties, but you probably won't see them often in a proof format.
We have to know them, but we won't use them.
We're going to use one in this proof, and it's not on that board. But often the RST properties, reflexive, symmetric, and transitive, those are going to come in 2 chapters from now when we do more proofs. They typically don't come in for algebra proofs, but we will use them eventually. And you do have to know them for your test because there'll be some matching or explaining the property. Did that answer your question?
Kinda.
Would you like to ask again? Okay, we'll talk later if we're still confused. So, we subtracted 3 from both sides. Then, we somehow got from 12 to 30. What do we do here? Yeah, we added 18 to both sides. So we used the addition property. Are you focused?
I'm finished.
Okay. Then, we're now here. How did we get from 30 to 6? What happened? We divided by what? 5. So we used the division property.
Symmetric.
Ooh, very good. The next one is symmetric. Cece.
Oh, is the next one rewrite the solution?
So, yeah, you're not wrong. All we're doing between 4 and 5 is to rewrite it in the order that it wants us to put it in, x equals. However, like Jordan said, we do have 3 special properties that kind of deal with stuff like that. If we remember the RST properties, R is reflexive. It's one term. It means A equals A. It's the mirror image. Symmetric is what's going on here. You can change the order and change around your equal sign. And then transitive was the cutting out the middleman. So these typically don't show up super often in the algebraic proofs that you'll do. But in this case, little things like this might show up. Okay? And when you were given this problem, it would have said, prove that x equals 6. If it said prove 6 equals x, we would be done at this point. We wouldn't have to change the order. But we need our very last line to match whatever our proof is proving. Okay? So first and last line are typically given to you, at least this half. Questions on that one? Okay, next one is completely blank. What should I call my left-hand column? Statements. That is what I know. It's the algebra. What should I call the right-hand column? Reasons. That's why I know it. That's my POEs. I put number 1 down. And what goes next to number 1 always?
2x plus 5 equals 20 minus 3x.
Yep, given and the equation that you start with. And then all we're doing is algebra, but we're explaining our steps as we go. So let's deal with the x's first. Which way should I move my x's, left or right?
Left.
Left. If you moved them to the right and you wrote your proof out like that, that's fine. You'll get the same amount of points. It's correct. But I'm just going to choose to move them to the left. So what are you adding, Jordan?
3x.
We're adding 3x to both sides. We get 5x plus 5 is equal to 20.
Which is
We added, so we used the addition POE.
and then
Hold on, hang tight. Someone besides Jordan. Kayla, what would you do next to solve this equation? Subtract 5, right? So we would subtract 5, and now Jordan, what property does that use?
subtraction POE.
Subtraction POE. And then our very last step to solve for x, what should I do? Divide by 5. We get x is equal to what number? 3 is 15 divided by 5. And since we divided both sides by a number, we used the division property. And all the proofs, well, not all of them, a lot of the ones that we do today are only going to be 4 steps. Proofs can be however long they need to be. So if you did this in like 6 steps, but your steps were still justified and your algebra was still right, your proof is still right. Or like, for example, up here in the warm-up, wherever it is, if you did the distribution part one at a time and did that in 2 lines. That's okay. You're still right and you're still explaining your reasoning. Is that a hand, Charlie?
Yeah.
Can you wait until the lesson's done? Okay.
You
Questions on this one? Again, if this said you have to prove that 3 is equal to x, we would have to flip it. Has to match perfectly. Okay. Next one. Again, we set up our T-chart. What do we call the left column? Statements. And the right-hand side? Reasons. And then I write down, number 1, first line of any proof is given. And then on the left side, we put in whatever equation we were given. Whatever the question is asking us to solve. So before you even have to, all of this comes for free. This is 1 point for free if you do it on every problem. Next step, what should I do on the left-hand side? Yeah, I'm going to distribute that -4. That's probably what most of you would choose. You could also divide by -4, and I'm going to show you that way as well. So we're going to do 2 different proofs for this thing that's going on, because I'm going to show you there's more than one way you could do it. So if we distribute, we would get -44x minus 8 is equal to 80. That would be using the distributive property. Now, to isolate my x, what should I do? Add 8, and if I'm adding something, what property did I just use? Addition. We get -44x is equal to 88. My very last step to get rid of the -44, what should I do? Divide. And we get x is equal to -2. Since I divided both sides by a number, that is my division, POE. Something else I want to point out is even when we do the distributive property, we are multiplying, technically. We don't call it the multiplication property because we're not multiplying both sides by the same number. So if we're only working on one side of our equation with parentheses, that's going to be distributive. We would never call that multiplication. Even though we are technically multiplying, we don't call it the multiplication property. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. We could have taken a break after our first line, and instead of distributing this -4, what else could I have done with it? What's happening to this 4 in this set of parentheses? Yeah, we're multiplying it right now, so I could have divided it off. And I could have said 11x plus 2 is equal to -20 with my division POE. And then I could have worked it out from there. And these 2 bottom steps would be a little bit different. But if you did this on the test, you would still get a 100% for this proof. It's still right, and you're still using the right reasonings. Doesn't necessarily matter if it perfectly matches mine or the person next to you. Okay? Okay. Last one we'll do as a class. I'm telling you right now, this one is important. This is nearly identical to one that is on your test next Wednesday. Put a star next to it. Even better, put it on your cheat sheet. Just a recommendation. It is very nearly identical to the one on your test. Okay. What do I call my left-hand side? Statements. What do I call the right-hand side? Reasons. First line of any proof. Given. 3 points. So we copy down the equation that we started with. This one especially, there's 3 different things you could do first. Technically 2 different things. Someone give me one option of what I could do first here to solve for x. Go ahead. distribute. Let's do that option first, and then I'll show you the other way in a second. So let's distribute the 3 into the x plus 2. What's 3 times x? 3x, 3 times 2? 6. We distributed, so this is the distributive property. Now what should we do? We're dividing by 4 with the opposite of division. Multiplication. Again, we're multiplying both sides by the same number, so that is why it's multiplication. Second to last step to solve for x. Go ahead. Yeah, subtract 6 from both sides. Perfect. That's the subtraction. POE. Are you close enough to me now? Can you see? Okay, I'm glad. Very last step. Isaac, what is it? Divide by what? You're right. Don't cheat off my notes.
I'm not, I was just looking at it.
Okay, what are you dividing by? What number do we have to get rid of in front of the x? The 3. We divide by 3. And we get x is equal to 2. So this is your division POE. We double check. Make sure that it matches what I was trying to prove. I knew my very last line had to be x minus 2. Double check to make sure, x equals 2. Double check to make sure it matches exactly. If it doesn't match exactly, you either have another step that you have to do, or you have to go back and try again. Okay? This would get you a 100% on your test. I'm going to show you a different way that's faster. Okay? Just like how when you drive to school in the morning, you can get there multiple ways. We can get to the end of a proof multiple ways. Here's another thing we could have done. I'm going to rewrite my proof with still my statements and my reasons and my given. Robbie, you're killing me. Don't scoot up anymore. First line of any proof? Given. Free points if we put given. Okay. Instead of distributing out the 3, what else could I do first? What if I didn't want to handle this fraction and leave it looming over my head? What would I do? Multiply by 4. Yeah, we're dividing by 4 right now. Let's multiply both sides by 4. We get 3 times x plus 2 is equal to 12. We multiplied both sides by a number. We use the multiplication property. Don't kick his desk, Caden. Okay, now, instead of distributing this 3, what else could I do with it? Divide. Right now, there's a multiplication sign here. It's 3 times those parentheses. So let's divide off the 3. I would get x plus 2. These 3's would cancel. I would get x plus 2 is equal to, what's 12 divided by 3? 4. I divided, so I used the division property. Very last step, what should I do?
Minus 2.
Minus 2. Minus means I used what property? Subtraction, POE, perfect. So, this way was faster. They were both just as accurate, just as 100% as your grade on the test if you put either of these. So again, if you're doing your homework and it's not perfectly lining up with your friend's homework next to you, that's okay. You might do things in a different order. We also, for example, if we go back up to this one, we could have done the 5 first. Like we could have switched the order here. Sometimes they're not going to look the same, and that's okay. Questions over proofs. Okay, I want us to get in either pairs or by yourself. You pick. So pairs or by yourself.
You're just leaving.